Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
Well, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. It is the Fishing in Florida Show this morning with Riscala, your host, and my co-host, Carolyn with Atlas Tracks. If you want to protect what you love to the max, got to call Carolyn at Atlas Tracks. Good morning, Carolyn.
Good morning, Riscala, on this brisk Florida, South Florida.
Oh, boy. I was out there. First thing I do in the morning is take the dog for a walk, and it was it was a bit on the cold side this morning. I think we recorded about 45 degrees when him and I first left in the morning, went up about a degree or two since then. But it is a gorgeous day. It is going to be, I see nothing on the radar. Looked up the weather report for the beaches. The beaches are looking great. Very minimal risk of riptide. The seas are 2 to 3 feet. Unless you get way out there, then it's a little higher. So it looks like it's going to be a great day if you want to go out in your boat. It's going to be a great day if you want to go to the beach. It's going to be a great day. Get out there and enjoy it. And did you do any fishing this last week there, Miss Carolyn?
Well, you know what? I tried to get out midweek. It was still a little bit rough. Yesterday was the Offshore Angler Pompano Beach Kingfish Tournament.
Wow.
I unfortunately wasn't able to get out there, but they pulled in some nice 20 to 30 pounders. 141-pound kingfish brought in by Trey at Big Dog Tackle. So that was a nice one to the scales. And I actually got lucky. Yesterday I went up to Palm City. I was invited up to do a little pheasant hunting, watching some of the dogs work as they did that, and got to throw a little fishing rod into a man-made bass pond. I never had a chance to do that. And,
Wow.
Wasn't very successful. I need to learn a little bit the feel that when they tug, it's almost like live bait on the offshore fishing side. So I've got to learn a little more finesse. But
Yeah,
it was a fun day. It was beautiful out there.
There is a difference between the two of them. Definitely a difference. And one of the things for me is I don't think I ever really got the skill down. There is a skill. I mean, if you're really going to go target like a peacock bass or something like that, it requires a skill. Otherwise, you'll probably get goose egged. I call it a big zero. You'll get nothing. So it does. It's not. I don't want to make it sound like it's that hard, but it's not the same as at least in my experience, not the same as when you go fishing in the ocean. Pretty much you throw a piece of bait out there, you're going to catch something. That's not always the case when you're fishing freshwater. You throw a piece of bait out there, if you don't know how to move it and feel what's going on with it, the odds are not in your favor.
You're 100% correct, and they kept saying it's going to feel like pulling on your finger, a little wiggle on your finger, and Every time I thought I had that feeling, I was dragging it on the bottom. So I need to practice that a little bit more.
Welcome to my world.
Right, I got a little bit of mud, a couple rocks, and that's about all I had to show for it. But like we say, you just take a chair, a fishing rod, a couple worms, and you're good to go.
Yeah, and you were telling me something about you went to watch them go hunting, right?
Yeah, very interesting. This is called a tower shoot. I've never been to one, but what they do is they take pheasants. They have the hunters in a pretty big circle around that tower, big as a football field, and all of them have their dogs with them that they're training. They throw the pheasants out of the top, and then the hunters shoot them. The dogs retrieve them. They take them back to the lodge. They clean them. They cook them for a barbecue, and then everybody goes their merry way. But I've never seen so many people. There was probably 40 hunters. Support group.
That's awesome.
Now here's what's interesting. There was about 20 ATVs. I happen to have one of my trackers on me, as I do all times, and was able to show them how important it is for safety. We were out in the back country up in Palm City. Even when these guys are hauling these ATVs in and leaving them in unfamiliar areas. So it worked out well. Everybody liked that, and it was a pretty good camaraderie. I've never been around that kind of a group before, getting together and just having a good time and not spending that much money.
I think it falls back to a basic, I don't know if it's called a law or an understanding that if you have a common bond with people and you share that bond, then the majority of the time the experience is a positive, really great experience. And that's what I find in the fishing industry. And some of them I haven't been hunting in years, but I remember from years back, some of my friends that we would go hunting, it would be like a little community, just like the fishing. And many of them were from the fishing industry. They go out and go hunting and enjoy what God has given us, and it's great. It's great to, I one of the things for me is that we're surrounded by water on three sides of the state. So water is one of the greatest priorities for me. And I love water. I just can't get enough of it. But there, again, there's other things that you can do. Like we just said, I never knew that there were actually commercial hunting farms in Florida. I never knew that until I did this show a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I had a couple of people from these farms that would come on. You pay them a fee. And it depends on what you're hunting for, whether it's hog or deer or whatever that might be. And the odds of you finding whatever it is that you're looking for are much greater because it's a closed area. It's not open to the public. So,
Let me tell you what was amazing. This was put on by a group called Ducks Unlimited, which I did not know existed. And they are a nonprofit for conservation and how to hunt ducks and other feathered friends. And they actually had so many kids. There were kids there that were volunteers, even handing out the water, that were anywhere from boys and girls 5 years to 15 years old because they want to volunteer. And the ranch that we were at was called Quail Hunting Florida, a beautiful ranch off of Martin Highway. And they have a club there, and they invited the Ducks Unlimited folks in. So it was great. I learned something I've never done before. I got to observe and see how you use the earth and eat what you catch and great conservation techniques, and nothing was wasted. So it was great. Ducks Unlimited, and I got to bass fish a little bit when the guys were, finishing up and cleaning up. So it was great. It was another family event.
It sounds like a really awesome experience, and that's really what life is about, is to experience these different things that we have the opportunity to do. I know Robert, one of his favorite things, he'll be on here in a few minutes, on Sunday morning, is they like to go down to one of the parks and go bicycling and enjoy, my gosh, you can't get much more raw than that. I think the only thing left would be to walk or to jog around the park. But, you get out there and he's just enjoying what we've got. A lot of people don't take advantage of it, and it's sad because we live in one of the most beautiful states that, again, if you like water, we live in one of the most beautiful states for that kind of thing. And there's so many different activities that are related to the water that you can do. It's great.
We even talk about water on three sides of the state. Let's look right up the middle. We have more lakes here than people realize. In Ocala, where I was yesterday, Palm City, north middle part of the Florida, Orlando, you've got the Crystal Rivers and Crystal Springs, northwest Florida, that are water clearer than the Bahamas.
Thousands and thousands of lakes in the state.
So we've got water all through the Everglades, airboating, fishing back there for bass and things like that. It's a pretty amazing state that we're able to fish in Florida.
It is, and if again, you should take advantage of it. This is an option that's available to you. My favorite is fishing because of my experience growing up with my family in fishing. But it doesn't have to be fishing. You just go to the beach, enjoy the water. Or if you want to make it a very basic fishing, you could just get yourself a hand line. I was telling Carolyn off the air that you could make it really basic. It doesn't have to be about money. It's really about the experience. Go get a hand line. Cost you a whopping, I think, less than $10, and you can go fishing. And you don't know what you're going to catch. It's kind of sort of like the lottery. You don't know if you're going to win or not. And if you do, you might win something really big. Well, it's the same thing with fishing. You might just catch something really big because they're out there. All right, I think I have Robert on. Robert, good morning.
Good morning. And the worst thing you could end up with is a nice day sitting outside.
There you go.
That would have been yesterday, Robert. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. It's a great day.
Yeah, we missed you last week.
Yeah, well, we had things to do.
He had himself busy.
Day.
Yeah. So are you going to the park today?
Gorgeous day out this morning. What's that?
Are you going?
We're headed for the park here in a little bit.
Yeah. I figured you'd take it. It is a very, very pretty day out today. Very few clouds in the sky. I looked at the marine forecast earlier. The marine forecast looking good. The radars. There's nothing on the radar all around the state. So that means it's pretty clear all the way around the state, regardless of where you're going to be.
It's crystal clear. There is no wind this morning, at least not yet. So
yeah, and I'm looking for the forecast for the rest of the day, but they haven't updated it yet. It's still from yesterday. I don't think they update until around 9 o'clock, so we won't know that until 9. But it's starting out as a very, very pretty day. I was telling Carolyn we went out for a walk, my dog and I. First thing we do in the morning is go out for a walk. Sundays are the shortest of those walks, and it was quite brisk. I'm inland. I'm about 15 miles inland, so it's a little cooler the more inland you go. And it was brisk.
Yeah, I walked mine at night, and the other night was, not last night, the night before was just ridiculous.
Wow. Well, it's those few days, I can put up with it for a few days, as long as it's a few days, and then it kind of warms up again. It looks like as the week wears on here, it'll get slightly warmer during the day anyway. It'll be up in the...
And the fishing does get good on the other side of these cold fronts, too.
Yeah. So have you done any fishing this last week?
No, it has not been conducive to fishing.
And as this front goes through, we've talked a lot of times, as the front goes through, what do you think is going to be the best time and what tide?
The first day it warms up, and incoming or outgoing tides doesn't really matter, but the first day it warms up, you'll get lots of activity. Just look for the bait fish.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same thing I tell everybody. When you go fishing, follow the bait fish.
There you go.
If you can find schools of bait fish, you will find schools of something trying to eat them. So
that's true. That's absolutely
Robert,
true.
I don't know if you heard yesterday there was a little more than a little kingfish tournament, about 34 boats, and they were getting a lot of 20 to 30s, only one 40-pounder, but that's what they said. They were out. Some guys were flying kites, some guys were slow trolling, and there was hard to find bait over here yesterday. Hard to find any goggle eyes and pilchards.
Yeah, when it gets cold, the bait fish don't even go out, So it's, when food's not there, it's like they closed all the restaurants,
Oh, exactly.
But how is Atlas Track?
Well, we were real busy. I don't know if you heard. I did a little. I didn't personally do any pheasant hunting, but I went up to a camp a little bit north Florida and brought a tracker with me. I was surprised how many ATVs and side-by-sides and utility vehicles were used in an event like that. So it was pretty good. I showed them what we had, and a lot of the guys like the idea of not worrying about something being stolen. But I was telling even Riscala, I got to do a little bass fishing. I'm not very good at it, but I'd like to practice a little bit more.
It's a brilliant device, and I don't get to do. I should probably do more bass fishing. Those days when it's really rough out and you don't feel like going out and getting beat up, I should probably find something else to do.
Well, let me tell you what was nice about it. I was able to get right behind some trees, put out a little chair, and I had only the blue skies and the brilliant sun, so it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, that's not a bad day.
Sounds like a dream.
Yeah, that's a good day there. So.
Oh my!
Catch anything?
No, I got the bottom a couple times. I'm trying to get the finesse of doing a little jigging, so I want to practice and get a little bit better and do some of this backcountry that we're always talking about. And what was kind of neat about this camp was there was an active cattle herd on, so every once in a while you'd hear a moo and look over your shoulder, and you had some cows walking down the road. I know there was a little bit of boar there, and some other kind of deer. There's some 10-point deer up in that area too. I didn't know they got that big.
Wow.
No, I didn't either.
It's a good thing there's not 100.
I can tell you this: the snapper fishing has never stopped. I got some pictures in from Jack Carlson and some of the guys down in the Keys over the last couple of days for the magazine, and if all else fails, apparently the snapper bite never stops in the Keys. So if you're ever looking for fishing and it's too rough out, just go to the reef and catch yellowtails and mutton snappers all day, because apparently that's what they're doing. So
there were many times that when I was younger and my dad would take us fishing, we would forego the boats. We would fish right off the shore, some of the bridges. One of the nicest bridges that they had down there, I don't know why they shut it down, is Card Sound Bridge. They have a beautiful, they did, I don't even know if it exists anymore, what we call a catwalk. It was a thing built specifically for people to go fishing on. And it was a very unusual kind of catwalk, because typically a catwalk rides the height of the bridge. So however high the bridge is, the catwalk is that height. This catwalk rode the bottom of the bridge. It literally rode along just above the water's edge, only a couple of feet all the way across. So if you want to get out to the middle.
We have one of those under our Roosevelt Bridge here.
Oh, really?
We have one like that. Yep.
That was the only one I'd ever seen. I'd never seen one like that before. And for whatever reason, they shut it down. But that was one of the greatest places for us to go fishing. All it takes is a little trip down to Upper Key Largo. Really, it's a very northern edge of Key Largo. But there's a lot of other places you can go fishing. You can fish right from the shore and still do a great job and catch. Catch who knows what.
A bridge that I stop at every time I go to the Keys. There's a bridge, and I'm not going to tell anybody where it is. Or which one it is. There is a bridge I stop at every single time I drive down there, and just go throw a couple lines just to see what's going on. And it has proven to be a great spot.
Wow. I've done some really great fishing along the bridges down along the Keys. Just really great. There was, I don't know what channel they call it, but there's one in particular that it's cut out of the coral. You can literally see this is cut out of the coral. The canal is, I don't know, 30, 40 feet wide. But we fished that a couple of times and really did outstanding. Really came back happy that we did. It's kind of tall off of the water. It's raised up off the water. I can't think of the name of it, but it's a very unusual.
I love fishing under bridges when the tide's moving. I love fishing under bridges when the tide's moving. Great.
And there's a lot of bridges. We've got bridges all over the place. Lots of places where bridges are. So anything planned? Well, before I ask you that, how is the new edition now is out on the Florida Fisherman magazine?
Well, there is one out. It is not. We're working on the next one with Carolyn on the cover, actually. So,
Woohoo!
Ooh, I can't wait to see that. That's a nice treat, and that'll hopefully get a lot more ladies out fishing too.
Well, that's the whole idea, is to get them all out there, and the kids too. We've got a bunch of kids pictures that people sent in too, which is good. So.
Oh, great! Yes,
we're working on that one, and this one's going to be a while in the making because we got stuff coming from everywhere. We got stuff coming from Australia on this one too. So.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, and while you're mentioning
an addendum to Florida Fisherman magazine, and it is called New World Angler. Because we've got so much stuff coming in from other places that we're going to add an addition to the magazine.
So that'll open up the avenues even greater. So it could be literally anywhere in the world.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, that's great because so many of us travel to other folks. Like right now is the Los Sueños second leg of the billfish tournament. So a lot of the guys from Florida are actually down there doing a couple days of fishing and head back up here. So that's a great thing. And Australia also. What kind of fish from Australia?
Oh my God, everything. They have their snapper, but they don't look like our snapper. They're huge.
Interesting.
And they do a lot of bill fishing down there. They've got the same, I guess, the same yellowtail as they do in California. Whatever those, they look like giant amberjack.
Oh,
really?
The big long torpedo ones, yeah.
I haven't seen those.
They've got, but the bill fishing down there is phenomenal. And obviously shark fishing, but I'm not into that. So a lot of people are, so we publish that too. So.
I'll stay away from them. Thank you very much. I like to eat what I catch.
I don't understand it, so but I don't have to. So
I agree.
I guess it's the thrill of catching one, and then hopefully they release them. So
yeah, well.
Well, actually, I met a gentleman yesterday. He went out on our boat, and he's a tournament shark fisherman. And get this, they fish off the beach. They wear full harnesses like we do on the big sport fishes. They do let them go, but this is we're talking Boynton Beach, Delray, a little bit further north. And they're catching things we don't want to think about, like tiger sharks, things like that. But yeah, they're actually using their body as almost like a rod holder and strap-on harnesses, and they do let them go, which is a good thing.
So they harness.
The biggest one I've seen was I think it was about a 700-pound hammerhead shot off of a beach. That's a big shark to catch off a beach. So.
My goodness.
I thought the same thing. I thought when I heard a shark fisherman going with us, he was from Australia or someplace else like New Jersey. I didn't think he was fishing in Florida.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they harness themselves to the rod, and then they use their body as
Sometimes they do it in teams. some of these sharks are so big they do it in teams. You'll see one guy sitting on the ground with the rod and another guy standing in front of him pushing.
I've seen that. So, holy
yeah.
moly. Holy moly.
Yeah, the description was amazing. They dig their feet into the sand and almost lay down in the sand.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, there goes the beaches.
Right next to swimmers. And I'll tell you, if I was doing that, I'd have a knife on my hand just in case.
I'm looking for my
they
Jaws
swing
music
the
here. See
baits
if I.
out. they paddleboard the baits out.
Holy smokes!
Cool.
Well, you know
I didn't know that.
we did have some guy on, several years ago, that made this thing almost like a cannon that you put your bait in this thing and it shoots your bait out there.
We did an ad for them.
They what?
We did an ad for those people.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, bait blaster.
Yeah. And then blasted out there like 200 yards out there. I was amazed.
Yeah, a lot of guys just use surfboards.
That's
surfboard the bait out, drop it, and paddle back in.
I paddle pretty quickly back. Don't stick around. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I'll pass on that one.
I will
Yeah,
too.
that's a different breed of people. That's not me. So.
Oh, my. Well, Robert, I want to thank you for taking time to call in. It's always a pleasure to have you on, my friend. We did miss you last week, and I'm ever so grateful that we caught on to you this week.
Well,
the
people wedding was great, and I'm glad I went.
Awesome. If people want to know more, let's start with how do they find Florida Fisherman magazine?
You go to www.flfishmag.com, and if you've got stuff to send in, stories, articles, ads, whatever, send them to pages at flfishmag.com.
And that gives you, the listener, an opportunity to be in the magazine, if it falls along the guidelines. It gives you an opportunity to be in there and have your name in there, your picture in there, picture of your fish. The
magazine is entirely by readers.
There you go. All right, my friend. Well, thank you so very much.
I read a couple of articles, but other than that, it's all by readers. So,
and
thank you guys. You have a great day.
It's digital. That's what I really enjoy about it. You can have videos, you can have pictures. It's a great thing. Thank you, Robert. Greatly appreciate it. I'll give Carolyn an opportunity to say goodbye, and we'll go to a break.
Robert, great having you on, and I'll definitely get one of our trackers out for you this week.
And I will be talking to you in the next couple of days about your article, too, because I've got some questions I've got to send you. So.
Perfect. We'll get it done. Happy Sunday. I'm sorry.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Scala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Well, that didn't go well. What happened?
Do you need toner?
There we go.
Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
GTG, BRB, OMW, be there in a few. You may think that these kinds of texts are fine because of their length, and you can easily send them at a stoplight. But no, answering one text can take your attention away from the road for 5 seconds. And traveling at 55 miles an hour, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Make good decisions, don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Thinking of moving? Before you do anything else, call Diane Whittick. She provides a concierge service. Things like having your home or condo packed and shipped, even take care of your home repairs or upgrades. Diane has the expertise to get it done. As a seller, you will have constant contact. She will furnish you with bids on any services that might need completion: air conditioning, plumbing, handyman, and even cleaning. Living up north and have a home to sell here in South Florida? Just give her the keys, address, and a signature. Your payment will be wired when the property is sold. That's right, Diane does it all. Thinking of buying? Diane has great listening skills. Tell her what you want, give her your budget, and like a genie, she will make your real estate wish come true. There's no regrets when you choose Diane Whittick. To reach Diane, call 561-247-5478. That's 561-247-5478.
When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers. But that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
While other stations just talk a good game, we win it.
Hey, sounds like somebody's having a lot of fun.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. Good morning. It is the Fishing in Florida Show, and it is an honor and a pleasure to have you listen in. And this morning I have Carolyn with Atlas Tracks with me. I would highly suggest to you, if you have anything that you love that you want to protect to the max, you got to talk to Carolyn at Atlas Tracks and let her explain to you what she does, because what she offers is something very unique, and it's something as small as a credit card, not quite as thin as one, but it can be that small, and what you get for that is a peace of mind. How much can you put on peace of mind? I can't find a price for that. Anyway, welcome back, Carolyn. Thank you so much for being my co-host and all of the efforts that you put in. My goodness, I greatly appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely, Riscala. I want our listeners to be aware of all the wonderful things that are available to them, things that they might not have heard about, different groups and foundations, and just some fishing tips. I think it's great, so thanks for having me.
Well, it is truly, I appreciate it. It's truly an honor to have you, alongside and helping and really putting out a great effort. Most of the guests the new guests that are coming on are acquaintances in one way or another, contacts of Carolyn. And I greatly appreciate that. And I believe we have our next guest on. That would be Don Cummings in Casting for Recovery. Welcome. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Don.
Hi, Carolyn.
So, Don, Carolyn has told me a little bit about it, called Casting for Recovery. Let's talk a little bit about what is Casting for Recovery. What is it that you're doing?
Okay. Casting for Recovery is a weekend retreat for breast cancer survivors that teaches and educates, and we teach you how to fly fish.
Wow. Wow. So this is... Go ahead.
It was founded by a breast cancer reconstruction doctor and a fly fisherman.
What a pair. Wow.
Wait, it's a national group, a national organization, right, Dawn? I've seen retreats in other parts. Tell us some of the other states that the retreats are in, and then tell us about the Orlando one.
Okay, well, they're in all 50 states. We actually have 55 retreats a year. It is nationwide. The one in Orlando is it's held in at the Courtyard by Marriott, and then we are able to fish over at the Ritz-Carlton on the luxurious golf course, where the ponds are stocked with these bass and such. And it's just it's a wonderful, wonderful outing for the ladies to cap off the weekend retreat.
Wow. And go ahead.
Go ahead, Rascal. What I was going to say was the wonderful thing about this retreat, and it doesn't cost the attendees anything.
What?
Absolutely. We raise money throughout the year so that all 14 participants that are selected do not pay a penny.
Awesome.
It's all expenses paid. The staff, we have usually 10 to 11 staff, ranging from 4 professional fly fisher people. We have 2 medical, and we have 2 psychosocial ladies that all work together with the participant coordinator, and we just make these ladies feel like queens for a day.
Wow, that is absolutely awesome. I was kind of thrown back when Carolyn said it, at no cost to the participant. Wait a minute, that is absolutely awesome. How does somebody get involved with this stuff?
Well, I got involved 10 years ago when I was a breast cancer survivor. I actually attended the retreat and just fell in love with the program. So, of course, it's just a matter of going to castingforrecovery.org to volunteer. You can also go there to donate, because some people just like to donate to causes like this. I'll make sure and mark it to Florida. But it's just, it's a great program.
It's my gosh, I don't know how to follow something like that up. You go out of your way to help other people who have been through a pretty traumatic experience and raise their hope and their inspiration again. You build relationships. Gosh, it's awesome. I don't know what other word really to describe what we're talking about here. It's great that there are people are out there that are doing that. I shared on a couple of shows. My mom had breast cancer, but it was many years ago and didn't have anything like this. And this would have really made a big difference for her, a big, big difference, because she felt like she was alone in the world. It was this is back in, 60s, early 60s. And it just wasn't anything like this. And some of the people that Carolyn has brought on and introduced me to are phenomenal in reaching out. And like you I like to call people I am a cancer victor. I don't call it survivor. I beat that nonsense, and I'll beat it again if it ever comes back. That's how I look at it. But it's great that people who have had unfortunate experience of this, taking that and turning it into a positive. It's like the old lemons to lemonade kind of thing. Lemons by themselves pretty sour, but let's mix some sugar in there. Wow, what have you got? So this is falls along that kind of line. Here's someone who's had that experience. Two of you, actually. Carolyn is another one who is a victor, who have had that experience and taken that and used that for a positive thing. Carolyn reaches out to, oh my gosh, I don't know how many different people that she's involved with in some way or another are helping and giving back to the communities again. To me, that's what America's about. Not to be political or anything, but that's really how we make America great again. It's the people,
that's right.
the people of America that it's going to make it. That's when we thought of America as being a great country at one time, and I didn't think of the government was so great. Whatever the government did, it was the people. It was the ability of the people to work together. You think about what happened in the early days when this country was being put together. If we didn't work together, we were out of luck, because to make it alone, the odds weren't all that great. And it's great that there are people, more and more people coming on the show and testifying that there are people out there that are willing to work with other people. We may have to look for them a little harder because of the way things are, but they're out there, and it's an inspiration to people like me to know that that's available. God forbid that somebody has this disease, but then there are people like you and Carolyn who reach out, or maybe not necessarily reach out, but are there. So if they reach out, you're there for them. That's awesome. That's really, for me, that's what life is about, to help wherever you can.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, Scala, I didn't know about this foundation, and the way you get selected is you have to actually submit an application, and you get pulled for lottery for Casting for Recovery.
Wow.
I was actually pulled this year, so I will be attending the retreat in Orlando in April, and I'm very excited.
Wow.
We're excited.
Well, again, my great appreciation. You are an inspiration, and you give hope. You give hope to a lot of people who may not have heard about it, who will hear about it on this show. My listenership is in the thousands now as we increase the number of affiliates. So we're no longer just I think we were averaged about 800 before. The last count when I looked, because of all the different affiliates, we're up into over 3,000 listeners to this show.
Oh, wonderful.
And that's counting all the and thank you, affiliates. I'll make sure that I mention all the different affiliates now that I brought that up. But yes, so there's a potential of thousands of people hearing this message, and within that, because of the rates of the cancer going up and up and up, I'm sure somebody knows somebody or somebody's had it, and this is great news for them. That there's, even if you don't, not to speak for others, but I know for me, even if, of course, I'm the wrong gender anyway, but even if I don't get on it, for me, my feeling would be, it's out there and it's available, and that's an inspiration, whether you actually get picked to be on it or not. The knowledge that there are people reaching out for other people, that to me is an inspiration in and of itself. So even if you don't get picked, you win. That's how I look at it. When we look at something where everybody wins, how can you lose? How can you not support something like that? That's awesome. So I want to go back to Casting for Recovery altogether, castingforrecovery.org.
Yep.
Castingforrecovery.org. And have you got a Facebook page or any of the other social medias?
Yeah, there's Casting for Recovery Florida on Facebook.
And any of the other, are you on Instagram, or are you on Twitter, or any of those guys?
No, not myself.
But you know what? If you go to castingforrecovery.org and you click on the retreat tab, you can pick your state, and it'll tell you what retreats and where. And they've got them everywhere: Idaho, Utah, Alaska, Florida.
Montana.
And I've never fly fished a day in my life, Rascala. So they might teach us how to make some flies and how to cast and see if I can cast into the bushes. And
Wow.
So it's going to be something that's a new avenue, meeting new women. They cover the hotel costs. They bunk us up in rooms. We have a roommate. They provide our food, medical advice, and just talking to other women that have it. Any stage of cancer that they have. It doesn't matter how much money you make. If you have money, if you don't have money, all kinds of diversity is brought together. And there's beautiful videos on YouTube that you can see if you look up Casting for Recovery.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. Great. So are they on YouTube? Is that where you're at, Dawn?
Yes, there's some on there, exactly. Mm-hmm.
And Casting for Recovery would bring it up?
Uh-huh.
Great. So go on YouTube and look for Casting for, actually, probably the easiest thing is to do just a major search, Casting for Recovery, and that way you get the website, you get the YouTube videos, you get the whole, you get everything. That's awesome. Really, really a great inspiration for people out there to know that you can be a small part of this. You can help, in whatever way that you're able to. That's something that I passionately believe. Help in whatever way you can. If you can't help, then that's understandable. But if you can, there's no reason why you shouldn't. Because you're reaching out and making whatever that help is, you've done your small part in changing people's lives. This is a life-changing event for people. I not that I've been there personally, but I know what it's like to have the disease and have to overcome the disease. And to have somebody that offers something like this to you, and we'll take Carolyn as an example. She's never been fly fishing before. So this is going to be a learning experience. It's going to be an experience of building relationships with other women who have gone through what so there's a commonality there that creates a bond. And more than likely this will be with some of the people she meets. I'm saying more than likely some of this could very possibly be lifelong relationships for the rest of her life. It's awesome. It's awesome. And I'm so glad for people like you. I so appreciate Carolyn for introducing us and telling us about what it is that you do, because I would wholeheartedly support this in any way that I could. And to start off was to, have you on the show and let people know that this is available. Thank you so much, Dawn. Greatly appreciate it. Go ahead, Carolyn.
Dawn, I can't wait to talk more and see you in a month and a half. I'm sure you'll be up there, and I'll definitely keep spreading the word. So have a great Sunday.
Thanks, Carolyn. Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn. I wish you an awesome day, my dear.
Thank you. You too.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Rascala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Dad is an adventure full of special moments.
A cruise?
Surprise!
Unexpected moments.
I got this.
And even awkward moments.
Okay, Dad, thank you.
But every moment you spend with your kids, even the smallest moments, can make the biggest impact on your child's life. So take a moment to be a dad today.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclub.com. That's www.susanclubb.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
Being a dad is an adventure full of special moments.
A cruise?
Surprise!
Unexpected moments.
I got this.
And even awkward moments.
Okay, Dad, thank you.
But every moment you spend with your kids, even the smallest moments, can make the biggest impact on your child's life. So take a moment to be a dad today.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers. But that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
While other stations just talk a good game, we win it.
Hey, sounds like somebody's having a lot of fun.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing in Florida where the sun shines all day. They just call me a grouper. So I'm fishing in Florida. Oh yeah, fishing in Florida.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. It is the Fishing in Florida Show. Good morning to you. If you're just joining us, we will have archives set up on the Fishing in Florida Show on Facebook. Go to the Facebook. Let's try that again. Go to Facebook. Find Fishing in Florida Show. Please give us a like while you are there. That makes us more relevant in the searches. And you will find a link to our archives, and you'll also find a link to listening to the show live. There's several ways you can listen to us. The easiest of those is on Facebook, of course, and clicking on Contact Us, and that'll get you live. But if you don't want to go on Facebook and you're on the internet, www.wcetfm.com. That is our home network. You can go there and click on the player, and you can find us that way as well. Working on a small app that people can download to listen to the entire network at whatever time they want. It's still we're still working on having somebody come up with that for us, trying to fine-tune that, if you will. But in the meantime, there's other ways that you can listen to us if you happen to be one of those terrestrials who are near any of our radio affiliates, who we're so grateful for. WCET, of course, FM 101.7 out of Columbia. If you're in the Columbia area, you can hear us on 101.7. High Point Radio, 1690 AM out of New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. If you're in that area, you can hear us on 1690 KYAH 540 AM, Utah's Talk Authority. They are another terrestrial station if you're in that area. And our latest affiliate is yachtrockmiami.com. Smooth grooves all day long, all night strong. They are a great radio station if you want some relaxing music. That's the place to go. Yachtrockmiami.com is a tune-in station. So if you have the tune-in app, you can go to your TuneIn app and go to yachtrockmiami.com, and you'll be able to find our show Sunday mornings, 8 to 10 a.m. Eastern Time, right there. So a variety of ways. We're going to make it even easier as time goes on, different avenues for you to listen. I think the easiest would be the app that we're working on right now, where you would just download a very simple app, and then whenever you want to listen to the network, the entire network, you just click on play. And whatever is live at that time or whatever's replaying at that time will come up. I think that's going to be probably the easiest of all. In the interim of that, this morning I have Carolyn with Atlas Tracks with me. And if you don't know what Atlas Tracks is, you need to find out, because there are people out there who have something that they have worked hard to achieve. And there are other people out there who are feeling like, well, it doesn't matter whether I work for it or not. If I want it, I'm going to take it. And Carolyn offers something that is unique in the sense that it is small, it is portable. It gives you a peace of mind, really. I mean, it would for me, knowing that if anybody was to decide to take something of mine and use it for their own good, I know from experience the faster that you recover whatever has been taken from you, the odds of you recovering that in good shape go way up. The longer that it takes, the odds of you recovering it or in good shape or horrible, or even getting it back, go way down. So the faster that you can recover something that has been taken from you, the more the odds are in your favor that you're going to be able to get it back the way it was before they got a hold of it. So anyway, let me welcome back Carolyn. Good morning, and thank you, Carolyn. Greatly appreciate your efforts in helping with the show as well as what you do with Atlas Tracks.
Absolutely, Rascala. I appreciate you having me on. And our next guest is belongs to one of the oldest fishing clubs in the nation. And when you think of a fishing club and old school, this is West Palm Beach Fishing Club. So I'm excited to have Tom on and tell us a little about all the wonderful things, the history of the club, and what they have planned.
Great. Well, welcome, Tom, and thank you for taking time to call in. And let's hear a little bit about what you do, my friend.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me on. You guys can hear me?
Absolutely. Yep.
Cool, yeah. So just like Carolyn said, my name's Tom. I'm with the West Palm Beach Fishing Club. And if you're not from our area, you don't really understand the region, you might not understand how a fishing club can stick around for 80-something years. But
that's amazing.
Really, fishing in Palm Beach County is part of our region's identity. And that's kind of how the club came about. So founded in 1934, the West Palm Beach Fishing Club is truly a historic organization. And we look at it, one of the things that we try to relay to people that come in contact with the club or our members, sponsors and affiliates, is we try to relay this message that we're a lot more than a fishing club, So oftentimes people think it's a bunch of, salty fishermen sitting around in a room telling lies, but we do a lot more than that. So the club's had some pretty forward thinkers over the course of 80-something years, and they've done a really good job of understanding that we need to benefit far beyond the boundaries of our own membership. The club's had a really strong focus of filling a niche in our community. So we do a lot of things. Just a brief overview. I'll dive in a little bit more on some of our more concentrated initiatives, but introducing kids to fishing and getting families fishing is a really strong emphasis of the West Palm Beach Fishing Club and our charitable affiliate, the Palm Beach County Fishing Foundation. Things like habitat restoration, planting mangroves, and our local intercoastal waterway, the Lake Worth Lagoon. And then things like trying to provide habitat for species of fish that may have been overfished. Conservation is one of the things that needs to be focused on, like many causes, more so now than ever. So the club's done a really good job of creating habitat for these fish offshore off Palm Beach County, creating artificial reefs and creating habitat. So.
Wow. Well, you said a whole mouthful there, Tom. Some of the things that
yeah, I know it's we're doing a lot. That's why we have a lot to say. It's pretty wonderful. So
some of the things that caught my ear. I am the kind of guy that loves to promote things where everybody benefits, and it's kind of sort of a selfish thing in a way because I'm part of everybody. But I so enjoy helping to promote things that benefit everybody, and some of the things that caught my ear was kids, family. These are two passions of mine, kids and family. I am a firm believer that the family is a vital component of our society and our country. And it is what, if you look at where this country came from and where we are, it is because of families, and it is because of what families did together, which would be fishing in my experience of life.
Sure.
It's what they did together to help the family stay together, because there's an outright attack on the family today, regardless of what your belief system is. It's in the open. The attack on the family unit today is never been greater than I see it today, and it's an outright attack. And the way to fight back is to put down the technology. Technology is wonderful. I don't have anything against it. If it weren't for technology, I couldn't earn a living. So don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But there's a time in your life where you can put down the technology and you can pick up simpology, is what I call it. Just simple stuff, as simple as a hand line, for Pete's sake, and go out and go fishing. And there are life lessons to be learned from fishing. In my life, I've had life lessons that I've learned from fishing. I've gone fishing as few times as it was, but there were times when we were looking forward to going fishing. My dad would take us 3 to 4 times a month. My dad would take us as a family fishing somewhere. Anywhere. I grew up in Coral Gables, but we would go anywhere from Coral Gables, the canals in Coral Gables, all the way down to Keys, to Key West sometimes, across to Naples, on up to in different areas around here in Palm Beach County. But it was doing it as a family, and as doing it as a family and experiencing it all at the same time. It helped bond us, I believe. At least it did in my experience. And I want to pass that on to other people. I want to give other people that option where you just don't sit around and do nothing, or look at your piece of technology, whatever that might be, your smartphone, your laptop, whatever that might be, all day long, and not carry on a relationship with another human being when you have the options to do that. And this is one of the greatest ways to do it. I'm grateful that you offer it to kids. I'm ever so grateful that you offer it to families. People who know me know this isn't, I don't just talk this talk, I walk this walk.
Sure.
I was a foster parent for many years. I adopted kids. Family is number one for me. To this day, all my kids are grown, but to this day, we get together one day a week as a family and enjoy each other's company. So anything that I can do to help promote that, by golly, you're going to find me right there. And so if people want to get involved, how do people get involved with this?
We have a ton of, a nonprofit foundation like we have doesn't go very far without an army of volunteers. So I guess the call to action with that would be, aside from, donating to different initiatives that we do, is if you're in the greater West Palm Beach area, Palm Beach County area, just to give us a call. We're very connected on our website, westpalmbeachfishingclub.org. We're all over, social media. So if people want to get involved and help support some of these initiatives, especially with kids fishing, we're very accessible. Like you said, technology is out there. We're just a phone call away. And I really like that perspective you took on that. I didn't think about it that way as far as the dynamic of a family being attacked in a modern era, because we put such a strong emphasis on introducing kids to fishing and our saltwater resources, and trying to foster the next generation of responsible stewards of the resource. So,
Amen.
We look at it that way, but you're absolutely right. Fishing is a pastime where once you pick it up, you can do it for the rest of your life.
And in my life's experience, if you can train somebody while they're young to be responsible, they will grow up inevitably to be a responsible adult. You have that opportunity to make the change in our society by doing things like this, because it's a lot easier to deal with them as children than it is as adults.
Yes. Yeah.
And Riscala, what's real interesting about this club too is its history, right? This club is one of the very first in 1938 that brought the idea of let's do catch and release flags for sailfish. So back then they were forward thinking. They also have 4 to 5 tournaments a year. Some of them with up to 200 boat entries. In June is a tournament. They've got some kids tournaments. They do meetings, with some speakers almost every month on different techniques of fishing. So they really are, when you think of a fishing club, they really encompass everything. They have kids-only fishing tournaments. So there's some real great events.
Cool.
And I thought this was a very unique club that you don't find in the community.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's an institution unlike many others, just like you said with the different seminars, it's hard to differentiate our foundation initiatives from our club stuff because we very much are the West Palm Beach Fishing Club. We like you said, Carolyn, having tournaments, just getting people out on the water and fishing and keeping the boating and fishing marine industry active that way. But then through our foundation, we do put a lot of focus on introducing kids to fishing and kind of more, not on our nonprofit side, emphasizing those conservation and youth fishing programs.
Yeah, here's an idea. Would you rather deal with somebody who started out as a child learning the responsibilities of conservation, of taking care of our environment, of the opportunities that we have where you can go fishing and keep some of the fish if you want to eat them, and then don't destroy that which you're not going to utilize, throw it back.
Exactly.
Or versus a child that grows up on the street, technology around their life the whole time, they're involved with all the wrong stuff, the drugs and all that stuff, likely to break into your home or your car or something like that. You got an option between the two. For me, it's pretty logical. It's a pretty straightforward decision. Let's go with the ones who are willing, who are open-minded enough to learn what fishing is and responsibilities of the environment, because those people, when they grow up, they'll end up being a responsible adult and providing a positive input for our society and not a negative input. They're going to detract from they're going to take away from the crime rates, not add to them. And that's really what we want, isn't it? I mean, really, when it all boils down.
Definitely. You hit the nail on the head there. Our Kids Fishing Day program, we're heading into our 33rd year, so I'm only 27 years old, so a little bit before my time. I can't take too much credit for it, but it's a really heartfelt program. We've had over 14,000 kids come through the program since its inception.
Wow.
And it primarily targets, for lack of a better term, underserved children, like you spoke of. And you hit the nail on the head where we take these kids out for a day of fishing. We teach them about our saltwater resource. We teach them what a mangrove is. No habitat, no fish. We teach them how to cast. We give them a rod and reel. All those things aside, I look at it in a very simplistic, point of view where even if these kids never fish another day in their life, at least they're future residents of our area, and they're being introduced to this resource that's so important to our region and our identity and our tourism and our marine industry. So if these kids can walk away and have a positive experience and enjoy something that a lot of us take for granted, as simple as spending a day on the water. So that's probably our marquee event through our foundation is that Kids Fishing Day. And you hit the nail on the head right there, just instilling that at a very young age and showing them that, plastic, don't litter this, habitat's important, and just not taking for granted what's right in front of us there in the intercoastal and offshore there in the ocean.
I think what it does is it helps raise the awareness, because they are at a very moldable age, when they're this young age, they're very
sponges, we call them.
Yeah,
they're sponges at that age.
And we all are basically. The older that we get, I think the pores get a little smaller, but we are hopefully all learning and we're opening. And if we're subjecting ourselves to a bunch of negative things, then it's many times I've heard that the human being is basically a biological computer. Well, and I've worked on computers since 1985, and I know if you put garbage in a computer, you're going to get garbage out. So if you do the same thing, if you look at us as a biological computer, as human beings being of that nature, if you subject yourself to a bunch of negative stuff all the time, then you're just going to have negative stuff in your life from that point forward.
Definitely.
But if you learn the positive stuff early on, then it's easy to focus on it's much easier to focus on the positive stuff, become a positive part of our society, and add in a positive sense to what we have. And those are the kind of kids that'll end up standing up for water rights and standing up for conservation and standing up for what we believe in is right, we know is right. I used to regret conservation, but then I lived through it, and I saw where we were literally decimating different species. And then conservation came into play, and Mother Nature came right back. If you give her the opportunity, she'll come right back. But you have to give her the opportunity. You have to have the knowledge that's going on. What is it going to require? So this kind of thing is great. And I think that the young people that you introduced to this, I'm just venturing to say, I would say the majority of them, if not all of them, will probably end up doing something positive for the local area or our society in general, because they had a good positive rooting. They started out with something positive. You follow what I'm saying? It makes sense?
Yeah, I like the word rooting. It's bringing it full circle for me, like planting a mangrove. You're exactly right there.
Yeah. And that's what we're doing, really, with these children, is we're planting a seed. It's not something, many times we don't see a result immediately, but somewhere down the line, we see the fruit of that tree. It takes a little while. It's, some fruit trees take 2 or 3 years before they put out their fruit. So it may take a couple of years in order for us. Yep. It may take that. But knowing that we're involved, that's for me, to knowing that you've done your little part, whatever that small part might be. If you're able to help, then help. If you, I don't know of anybody that couldn't spread the word about what's going on and help in that fashion. I know people who could help financially, and I know people that could help maybe by volunteering. The only way that they're going to do that is to know that it's available. WestPalmBeachFishingClub.org is the place to go online and get more information. Tom, did you say you have a number that they can call? I don't remember these.
Yeah. Sure, we're accessible at the West Palm Beach Fishing Club. It's 561-832-6780. And it's 2020 though. Just Google us. We're all over the internet there. So we're very accessible, and we'd love to talk more about what we do. So
over 80 years. I mean, my gosh, thousands of people that have been affected in a positive manner. Anybody can be affected. Let's not make a mistake about this. I can affect people's lives in a heartbeat. To affect their lives positively, that's a different story. And that's really,
you're right.
That's really what it's about. It's about making a positive effect on people's lives. And this clearly is something that is along that line. So it is westpalmbeachfishingclub.org if you want more information. Tom, thank you. I will look forward to having you back on, giving us updates. I know that you've got tournaments coming up. I want to hear more about that and what you're going to be doing with regard to them. I want to let Carolyn say goodbye, and then we'll go to a break. Again, I appreciate you calling in, Tom. Thank you.
Absolutely, Tom. I'll try and get into that June, the Kingfish Wahoo Dolphin tournament this year. But I appreciate you being on a Sunday. Happy day.
Carolyn, thanks so much for letting us talk about our programs here. Appreciate you guys and all that you do. And have a great Sunday.
God bless.
Listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Riscala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Thinking of moving? Before you do anything else, call Diane Whittick. She provides a concierge service. Things like having your home or condo packed and shipped, even take care of your home repairs or upgrades. Diane has the expertise to get it done. As a seller, you will have constant contact. She will furnish you with bids on any services that might need completion: air conditioning, plumbing, handyman, and even cleaning. Living up north and have a home to sell here in South Florida? Just give her the keys, address, and a signature. Your payment will be wired when the property is sold. That's right, Diane does it all. Thinking of buying? Diane has great listening skills. Tell her what you want, give her your budget, and like a genie, she will make your real estate wish come true. There's no regrets when you choose Diane Whittick. To reach Diane, call 561-247-5478. That's 561-247-5478.
Being a dad is an adventure full of special moments.
A cruise!
Surprise! Unexpected moments.
I got this.
And even awkward moments.
Okay, Dad, thank you.
But every moment you spend with your kids, even the smallest moments, can make the biggest impact on your child's life. So take a moment to be a dad today.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
Text and whatever. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Want to give your pet the celebrity treatment? Have you heard of Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care in Royal Palm Beach? They're located just off State Road 7 and have been servicing the area for 14 years. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care is the home of the Blueberry Facial, also specializing in tartar removal with 8 years of assisting in dental procedures. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care? They're more than just about dogs. They are the only experienced cat groomer in the area. They also cater to all breeds and sizes and open 6 days a week. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care, located just north of the Super Walmart in Royal Palm Beach. You can find them at 250 Business Parkway. They specialize in shampoos with no extra charge. Flea and tick dips also available. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care. You can give them a call at 561-793-9992. They also provide gift certificates for those looking for that special present. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care. 561-793-9992. They're located in Royal Palm Beach. That number, 561-793-9992. Call for your appointment today. 561-793-9992. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care, where your pet gets celebrity treatment.
While other stations just talk a good game, we win it.
Hey, sounds like somebody's having a lot of fun.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing in Florida where the sun shines all day. It just caught me a grouper. So I'm fishing in Florida. Oh yeah, fishing in Florida.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. Good morning, good morning. If you're just joining us, you missed out on a whole bunch, but not to worry. We will have archives set up. You can find those archives if you go to Facebook, Fishing in Florida Show. You will find a link to the archives there. In the meantime, I want to make sure I say thank you to WCET-FM 101.7 out of Columbia, our home station. And you can find us on the web at www.wcetfm.com. Also, High Point Radio at 1690 AM out of New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Big thank you to High Point Radio for carrying our show. KYAH, 540 AM out of Utah. Thank you, KYAH. Greatly appreciate it. And our latest affiliate, rockmiami.com. Smooth grooves all day long, all night strong. I've listened to this station several times. If you're looking for somewhere to find some relaxing music, that's the place to go. Thank you so much, yachtrockmiami.com. And by the way, they are a tune-in station. If you have the tune-in app, all you have to do is go to yachtrockmiami.com, and you can find us there 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Sunday morning. The easiest way next to that would be to, if you're a Facebook fan, you go on Facebook, you find our show, Fishing in Florida, click on Contact Us. That gets you connected directly to our live server. So a big thank you to all of them. We're ever so grateful as we continue to expand the listenership. And a big thank you to the listeners, because without you, we would be nothing. So thank you to everybody. And a thank you to Carolyn while I'm thinking about it. Thank you, Carolyn, for joining me this morning. What an honor and a privilege to have you on. You've been such a tremendous help in getting all these different people on. Greatly appreciate it. Welcome back.
Oh, absolutely. We've got a lot more to go, and I'm happy that everybody wants to come in and share their stories.
That's great. And our next guest is Gene Dyer. Gene is with the Coastal Angler magazine. Good morning, Gene, and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Go ahead, Carolyn.
Good morning, Gene.
Good morning, Carolyn. How are you today?
Excellent.
What
beautiful day here in South Florida.
What part of Florida are you in, my friend?
We're in Fort Lauderdale, Broward County.
Okay, so you're right here in the neighborhood. So you're seeing the beauty that we're seeing this morning. I thought maybe you might be near Orlando or something like that. I was wondering what it would be like up there. I looked at the radar this morning, and there was nothing as of about 20 minutes ago when I looked at it. There was literally nothing on the radar. So it looks like it's going to be a clear day, a beautiful day here in Florida. Let's talk a little bit about the Coastal Angler magazine. What does the Coastal, of course, it's about angling. What does it do? How long has it been around?
Coastal Angler, just here with our brand new March issue that is hitting the street here in Broward County this morning. Actually finished yesterday. Was our 300th issue.
Wow.
We've been for a little over 10 years. Coastal Angler started as a small local publication up in Brevard County in the Melbourne area, and over the course of time has morphed into a franchise model where across the state of Florida there's 17 franchises, and we're distributing 170,000 copies across the state. The cool thing about it is it's a free publication, and no matter where you pick it up, whether it's in Fort Lauderdale or Orlando or Tampa, it's got content that's relevant to the local area as well as content relevant to the entire state and on a national level. So there's always some good content, some educational stuff, lots of good stuff to read. Here in Fort Lauderdale, I always try to have a nice feature article each month about something that's going on, whether it's a local charity or a local tournament or what's happening offshore or maybe inshore. In the March issue, we wrote a story called Clowning Around about catching clown knifefish in the Lake Ida chain in Palm Beach County, just a little north of us. Really cool fish and an invasive species, but seem to found a nice home and are now a breeding population in the Lake Ida chain. Really, really cool fish. First time I've ever caught one.
I never heard of them. So what's the name of them again?
It's called a clown knife fish.
Clown?
And clown knife. They're very popular among aquarium enthusiasts. But the problem is once they get too big for the aquarium, people release them in canal or lake behind their homes. And for some reason in Lake Ida, I think it's because of a lack of current that they have established as a breeding population. And,
wow.
There are guys that are now doing charters specific to go and catch a clown knifefish.
Holy smokes.
And of course, largemouth bass and peacock bass are also available there. It's a really neat fishery. So it was fun to take part in that and do that story.
So,
and I have to, Rascala, I have to share. I met Gene years ago, and he had helped with some of those feature stories about Atlas tracks and helping me get started here in the local ladies fishing team that I have. So you know, he was helpful and instrumental in helping me get to the next level as well. Oh. And they even featured a 2-page story in the March issue on crossing for a cure. So they're very big on spreading the word on other people that need a little assistance, help, just like Travis when he was on last week. So it's I really appreciate, Gene, what you've done to help us and others and children fishing in the area too.
Well, that's a big part of what we do. We really like to feel a sense of community and be part of the community. We're very thankful for our readers, just like you are for your listeners, and it's important for us to give back and be involved with our community, because without our community and our readers, we wouldn't have a publication. So
I'm right there with you, my friend. And 2 things that you said that caught my ear was, first of all, it's educational, that you can learn different, maybe you can learn techniques or how other people are doing what they're doing to catch whatever it is that they're going after. And the second one was that it's free. It's not going to cost you anything to pick up the magazine and do a little reading. And learn. I'm always learning. I just, I don't think there's a show that I've done that I haven't learned something. This morning I learned that there's a clown knife, like a cutting knife fish.
Correct.
A clown knife fish. I didn't even heard of it. Didn't even know it existed in the area.
Well, they're originally they originally come from Asia, and like I said, they've been a big part of the aquarium community for a very long time. I had one a long time ago when I lived out in Texas, and they are just exploding up there in that Lake Ida and Lake Osborne chain that is connected by canals, and It's really a neat fishery. And one of the cool things about them is they have the ability to swim backwards. So once you get them close to the boat and you go to put the net in, they will actually try to swim backwards away from the net. And until you actually see it happen in person, it's really kind of hard to believe. But if you look at some pictures
Holy
of the
smokes.
fish online, or in this month's Fort Lauderdale Coastal Angler, they're really a unique-looking fish, and you can understand why they have the ability to swim backwards. It's pretty neat.
They almost look like I looked up some pictures. These things get pretty big. Wow. Holy smokes.
They get up to 10 to 15 pounds.
And they look almost like an eel. The rear end looks almost like it has like an eel. You know, it's not like a regular. It's not like fish that like other fish. It's more of a. No wonder it can swim backwards because it has the same tapering in the back as an eel has. Eels swim backwards.
They're very very interesting fish.
Wow.
And Rascala, I just actually looked up Coastal Angler magazine, the Florida Fort Lauderdale edition, and there's a nice story, Gene, that you put in there with a picture of it as well. It's a great place to see the if you can't pick up the magazine, it's a great place to see it on your computer. So you can see that there too, Rascala.
You looked it up online, Coastal Angler magazine.
Coastal Angler magazine, Fort Lauderdale, and it comes right up to the Broward edition, Gene's edition.
Okay.
Yes, we are available online for free as well. So if you can't get out and pick up a copy at one of our 200 distribution points across Broward County, you can read it online at any time. And if you missed any magazine in the last 3.5 years, there's an archive. So you can go back and read all of the magazines in the last 3.5 years online as well, which is one of the cool things for advertisers. You know, those ads never go away. Those are
that's pretty neat.
Links that will be on the internet for as long as I'm around, at least until the next piece of technology comes along. You know, things are moving very rapidly out there in the media world.
That's true. That's true.
And
Gene, if it's okay with you, I'd like to share something else very unique that you do. If I might have the floor for a second. So,
yeah, go ahead.
So Gene is wants to share his fishing experience. If you have a boat and you're not really sure how to fish it, Gene will actually come to your boat. If you have gear, if you don't, he'll bring his own gear to get you familiar with how to tie knots, take you out on your boat, learn how to use your boat a little bit, how to fish, what to look for. So he's actually kind of a traveling educator.
Wow. What would we call that? That would be like I don't know. What would be? You know, we have the two young ladies that come on every once in a while, the fishmongers, right? We call them that because they're experts in fish and all that. What would we call him? The boatmonger?
It's a great concept. Nobody does it.
I've never heard of it. I've never ever heard of anybody doing anything like that. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, think of it as having a personal mate on your boat for the day.
That's awesome.
Let's just say somebody retired early and moved to Florida from Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
They've been fishing in freshwater all of their life, but they want to go catch some dolphin or some tuna or some sailfish, and they have no clue how to do it.
Yeah.
We'll bring all of my tackle to your boat, and I will teach you what you need to know to be able to target these species.
That's cool.
I can go with you to the local tackle shop and show you which rods and reels you'll need so that you have them for your own boat. Can teach you how to rig baits, tie knots. I'm willing to share my experience that I've gained over the last 40 years fishing here in South Florida with new people. That's one of the things that I love about fishing is sharing my knowledge with other people.
Cool.
I get a tremendous amount of joy out of seeing somebody catch a new fish or new species for the very first time. I still love to catch them, don't get me wrong, but there's just something about seeing somebody
especially the first time.
For the first time.
Yeah, especially the first time. The excitement that they exuberate, you know, the excitement that comes out is you can't put money on that. I mean, I tell people I don't get paid to do what I do, but I do get paid. But it's just not monetary. It's not financial. It's the knowing that I've done a little part to help other people. that kind of stuff for me is priceless. You can't put a price on that. When you're teaching somebody how to do something like fish, there's an old saying, I'm sure everybody's heard the old saying, you can give a man a fish and feed him for a day, but if you teach him how to fish, you feed them for the rest of their lives. Well, fishing for me in my life's experience has been a learning experience with regard to life experiences, because there were times that I mentioned earlier we would go fishing, rare as they were, we would go fishing and we wouldn't catch anything. It was a disappointment. And it taught me that my dad used that to teach me that there's going to be times in life that you're planning to do this, everything is coming, and it looks like it's going to happen, and the odds are in your favor, but something happens and you get let down. How are you going to deal with that? Fishing taught me, that even though you went fishing and you didn't catch anything, you can still find enjoyment. You can still get some degree of satisfaction out of that.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And one of the things, not only, especially with young kids and teaching them to fish, not only are they learning hand-eye coordination and identification of fish species and how to actually physically do the sport of fishing, but they are learning character traits that they'll carry with them for the rest of their lives. And, as you mentioned, the fish don't bite every day, but that's an opportunity to
for a life lesson.
Persistence and patience, and those are life lessons that those children will carry with them for their entire lives.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm totally behind that, 100%. Because I said earlier, it's easier to deal with them as kids than let them grow up as broken adults and then try to deal with them. Because all the baggage that they're going to bring with them from all those years of experience, of bad experience. Everybody's having experience. Regardless of what you do in this life, everybody has an experience. Now, what you do with that experience, that's up to you. God is giving you a fresh board to paint every day. How you want to paint that is up to you. To me, I wholeheartedly support a paint job that would bring you joy, that would bring you peace, that would bring you satisfaction. Those are the kind of paint jobs that I like to support. The ones where you see all of the wrong stuff, all of the darkness of this world, there's too much of that going on. That's why we need to focus on this stuff that brings in joy and brings in responsibility and helps everybody. This really, what we're talking about again, is helping everybody. Making our society better helps everybody. I'm part of everybody, so in a way you can say I'm selfish, but that's really how I look at it. It's whenever you can help. I don't know of some way that somebody can't help. In an example like this, a Coastal Angler magazine, go pick up a magazine and you have an opportunity to learn something. There's educational information in there, and it's free, for Pete's sake. You can't ask for much better than that.
That's right. That's probably the coolest thing about Coastal Angler, that it is free, not just for the readers, but also for advertisers. The magazines get picked up, and I have to send a distribution list monthly to the corporate office because we are audited by a third party, so that advertisers can know with confidence that when we say we're distributing 170,000 copies in Florida, we are distributing 170,000 copies in Florida, which is more than any other fishing magazine in the state.
Wow.
So, and you can also, you can read the other editions online as well. If you're going from Fort Lauderdale over to Tampa, let's say, and you want to get a little information about the local area before you head over there, you can read the Tampa magazine online.
How cool is that?
Same thing.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
And I have to say, as an advertiser as well, it's got the most affordable advertising rates for folks in the boating business or any other business. So it's a great way to get out multiple times in the monthly magazine. And like I said, you could pick it up at Worldwide Sportsman, your local grocery store. It's all over. I've even picked them up in New York and seen the regional New York section and the national section.
Wow. Well, Gene, thank you for taking time to share with us today. Greatly appreciate it. If you guys want more information, it's Coastal Angler Magazine, Fort Lauderdale. Is it .org or .com?
.com.
All right, so it's Coastal Angler Magazine, Fort Lauderdale .com. You can get more information.
That's on Facebook. Coastal Angler Magazine, Fort Lauderdale is how you get it on Facebook. On the web, it's coastalanglermag.com/Fort Lauderdale. And that'll take you directly to my website. And from my website, you can read the current issue online. You just click where it says read current issue.
Cool.
And Gene, if anybody wants information on how to maybe get you to tag along and help them fish, how can they reach you on a phone?
They can reach me at my home office line, which is 954-680-3900.
Good
Thanks.
deal.
Tight lines today.
Gene, wish you an awesome day. I appreciate it, my friend. I wish you an awesome day. Carolyn, I'll give you an opportunity to say goodbye, and we'll go to a break.
Gene, thank you so much for calling in. Hopefully we'll see you out this week somewhere.
All right, great. Thanks. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy Sunday.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Scala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Being a dad is an adventure full of special moments.
A cruise?
Surprise! Unexpected moments.
I got this.
And even awkward moments.
Okay, Dad, thank you.
But every moment you spend with your kids, even the smallest moments, can make the biggest impact on your child's life. So take a moment to be a dad today.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclub.com. That's www.susanclub.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
While other stations just talk a good game, we win it.
Hey, sounds like somebody's having a lot of fun.
Oh, I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing in Florida when the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper, so I'm fishing in Florida. Oh yeah, fishing in Florida.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, good morning to you. We are back. It is the Fishing in Florida show. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I have Carolyn Stash with Atlas Tracks, and my favorite thing about Carolyn, I say, is if you want to protect what you have to the max, you've got to talk with Carolyn at Atlas Tracks, because she can do that for you. And while I'm giving big thank out to our home network, WCET, and they're located in Columbia, and it's 101.7. You can find us on the web at www.wcetfm.com. You can listen to us on 101.7 if you're in the Columbia area, or if you're in New York, New Jersey, or Pennsylvania, in the corner of those three states, you can find us on High Point Radio, 1690 AM. Also, if you're out in Utah, you can find us on 540 AM, Utah's Talk Authority, KYAH, and our latest affiliate, which is yachtrockmiami.com. They are smooth grooves all day long, all night strong. Thank you, yachtrockmiami.com. They happen to be a tune-in station as well, so if you have the tune-in app, you can just tune in to yachtrockmiami.com and you can find our show every Sunday from 8 to 10 a.m. Other ways you can listen to us is if you go to Facebook and give us a like. If you're going to go on Facebook, give us a like. That makes us more relevant in the searches. Click on Contact Us and you'll get a link to our live server. Also, you will find a link there to all of our archived pages as well. So let me welcome back my co-host. Welcome back, Carolyn. Thank you for taking the time to share with me this morning. I greatly appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. Pascal, I wouldn't miss a Sunday morning with you anywhere.
Some of the people that you have introduced me to are it's so very interesting. Now, this next guest, I can't help but just kind of fall in love with the name of the fishing team, Frustrated Amateurs Fishing Team. How cool is that? So
this is a great family unit right here that we have coming on next.
So this is Ashley and Alfredo. I don't know if they're both on or if one is on, but welcome to the Fishing in Florida show. Thank you for taking time to call in.
Yeah, how you guys doing this morning?
So
Hi, Alfredo.
We have Alfredo.
Doing,
good morning, Alfredo.
Good morning.
How did Frustrated Amateurs Fishing Team come about?
We actually got the name a long time ago when I was growing up, actually, when I started fishing tournaments in my first small boat, from a movie called Gone Fishing.
And that's
where the name derived from.
What was there a name of a team that was called Frustrated Amateurs, or you just?
No, the two guys in the movie. I think it was Joe Pesci, and I forget the other.
I vaguely
guy.
remember something about gone fishing. I can't picture
but they called themselves Frustrated Amateurs.
Oh, I see.
After a lot of stuff we've been through out there, we figured the name might suit well.
So
what's really unique about these folks, I met them. They fished the Southern Kingfish tournament series, and I met them a few years ago. Excuse me. They also have an Atlas Trax tracker on their boat as they keep upgrading their boats here and there, because they do haul their boats to a lot of different locations. So that's so important to have. But as a family, they do so much more. They've got children they take out fishing. They participate in so many different events, and I wanted to have them on to share some of that.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the events that you get involved with, Alfredo.
Yeah, we fished the SK circuit, Southern Kingfish Association circuit. We fished the Blue Water Movement, their meat tournaments in the summertime. We actually got Jimmy Johnson, the Jimmy Johnson Fishing Championship.
Yeah, I did that 1 year. Yeah, I covered that 1 year. Were you involved in it this year?
Yeah, we're fishing it this year.
Oh, great.
I think fishing days are Thursday, Friday. So we're prepped up and ready to start pre-fishing tomorrow and see what we can find. But yeah,
and they're out of Key Largo.
Yeah, we're out of Key Largo, so we're on the water pretty much all the time. I got, me and Ashley. Ashley's my wife. We got two small kids. We're out in the water all the time, and we have been using that Alex Trax for a few years now. So, and it actually helps a lot in fishing too. Covering spots and marking tracks as well, that we can go back when we're sitting at home and and create logs and stuff like that. That in turn makes us more efficient fishermen on these circuits.
Do you have the portable version, or do you have the one that's mounted inside the vessel?
I have mine. I mounted mine to the boat.
He's got the little one, Rascali. He's got the little 3-inch by 2-inch credit card.
I have the mini tracker.
Yeah, see, to me that is awesome, because you can put that on your person, and you don't have to mount it anywhere, and it's waterproof. There's so many positive things to having one of those. It's just awesome. It's a peace of mind, knowing.
It really is.
You said something that's nice, but being able to go back and I was here at this time, and being able to see where you were and what you did while you were there.
That's
but
another use for
it. The ultimate for me is just a peace of mind, knowing that God forbid something goes wrong. I know that there are people out there that can find me, and quickly. And that's, again, I said earlier, if something is taken from you, and in a different example, if you're somebody who has something taken from you, your boat stolen out of your yard, for example, the sooner you can get that boat back, the less damage, the less that the odds are damage has been done to that boat. It's the same thing. God forbid something happens out on the water and your vessel goes down. The sooner they find you, the odds of you surviving are much, much, much greater. The longer that you're out there, the more deadly it becomes to you because it's so difficult to survive in those situations. That's not, so to me, it's the peace of mind. It's I just would know, I would just have this confidence of knowing that anything, God forbid, something goes wrong. I keep thinking of those two young kids. A while back, we had two youngsters who grew up on the water here in Palm Beach County. Went out of, I think it was Jupiter Inlet, and we never heard from again. And I don't know that they ever recovered their bodies. They found the boat, but I don't know they ever recovered the bodies. If they had one of these with them, I don't believe that would have happened. It's unfortunate, very unfortunate. But it can be used in a positive way, and that positive way is to let people know. You have an option while you're out there. I want people to have fun. I mean, my gosh, there are numerous times I was out in a vessel, and thank God everything went okay. We had a great time. So safety is number one with any of this stuff. Go out there, have fun, but know what you're doing and that you're safe in doing what you're doing. And this affords people to do that very easily, within 10 feet anywhere in the planet. That's awesome. That just blows my mind. Oh my gosh! So have you done any fishing lately?
The wind hasn't really been on our side.
Yeah, I agree.
It's been. Plus, we still got a few things we've been doing to the boat. It's a new contender that we got right now. So we haven't fished. It's actually been, I would say, a couple weeks since we've been out there.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll start fishing tomorrow in preparation for Jimmy Johnson. See if we can locate some fish and try to put a pattern on them and see if we can win this year.
Well,
so in Riscala, I also invited them on as another local business owner. So you'd love to, Alfredo, tell us kind of about your nursery.
Oh, yeah, I own Wholesale Tree Farms and Homestead in Palm Beach County, Homestead, Florida, and Palm Beach, and Royal Palm Beach. And I grow a lot of natives, palms, flowering trees, native shrubs, and we ship all up the East Coast, up into Canada, and then out into the Caribbean.
Wow. Up into Canada? Our stuff that we grow here would grow up there?
No, but we send a lot of tropicals up there, and believe it or not, they only last 3-4 months, then they die off, and we resend stuff again the following year.
Wow. I'm always learning.
Like annuals. They treat it more like annuals up there. But big palms, big tropicals.
That's amazing. Well, I knew the name sounded familiar because I live in Wellington. I lived in Royal Palm Beach for quite some time, and I see I see the truck with the AJM. I thought that was one of the same. But then she told me you were down in the Keys. I go, well, maybe they just happen to have the same name.
I live in Key Largo.
That's great.
I actually started my company up there in Royal Palm Beach.
That's great. And
I started the company.
So the Frustrated Amateurs fishing team. Now, tell me a little bit about that. Is that open to other people, or it's a closed team? It's a
closed team. It's a group of us been fishing together for a long time. We've been fishing tournaments for a few years now, but together for a very long time. And we got into we fish. Living down here in the Keys, where we're always fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided just to get into the competitive part of it, and we've been running with it, for a few years now.
Have you had the fortune of winning?
Yeah, we have won some events, definitely.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, we actually won Jimmy Johnson. We won the meat fish part of it.
Wow.
In 2017, I believe it was.
Wow.
2016 or 2017, I believe.
Alfredo, what kind of prize money is in the Jimmy Johnson for the meat fish?
Lots of money.
Oh, this year it's a lot of money.
Lots of money.
I think with the boats, there are 94 boats, I believe, as of last night. If it goes up by 4 more boats entered before the tournament or by Tuesday, which is the captain's meeting, I believe in the meat fish part, it's well over $100,000.
It's $1 million. It was $1 million the last time I covered it. Aggregate, in other words, total.
Total tournament catch and release plus the weighted, which is the meat fish part, I think it's at $2.2 million this year.
Wow.
Yeah, total money paid out.
Wow.
So it's a extremely big tournament.
Yeah. And it is a very, I don't mean it in the wrong way, it's a very classy tournament. It's very well done. When I covered it, I was amazed at the people that were there, the people that were involved in putting it together, as well as the anglers. Very, very classy event. Very well done.
It is, yeah.
And I know a lot of the money goes back to a charity also. I know the pre-party a few years ago was at the Hard Rock. I'm not sure where it is.
Yeah, that's what the one I covered was at Hard Rock. Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be at the Hard Rock again this year.
And the best part is, Rascala, I'm going to be down in the Keys in May, and I invited myself on their boat.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it, Carolyn.
So keep talking.
Yeah,
Well, I wish you well in this tournament, and I hope that and that your lines are consistently tight, and that what you catch will provide for you what it is that you want. Maybe a top level winning in this tournament. So you not only would you get the financial reward, but you get the honors of knowing that you did well in a very, very classy tournament. Very, very upscale tournament. I really enjoyed the people that were there at the time that I covered it.
Yep, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And yeah, we're really looking forward to this event, and this is the one that kicks off our season.
So before I let you go, I'm just curious, is AJM a wholesaler, or can people, do you retail as well?
I'm a wholesale grower.
So people really can't call you up and go, hey, Alfredo, I want to buy a whatever tree.
Yeah, we do sell. We'll sell to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Our prices are wholesale prices. I would say 95% of my business is wholesale
Mm-hmm.
and large orders, but we're available. And if anybody wants anything that we grow, we sell it to them.
And AJM have
our prices are always wholesale. Yep.
You have a website?
No, we're on actually on Facebook and Instagram. AJM Nursery Inc.
Okay. So
if someone wanted to call you to get some product, how would they reach you on phone?
Numbers are 561-201-2055 or 561-329-8133. And either one of those numbers will go right to the 2055 is myself, and the other one is the office number.
Cool.
Perfect.
And he reaches there anytime, 7 days a week.
Great.
Absolutely. That's a way of family businesses 7 days a week. And if you could wish Ashley a happy birthday for me, too.
Oh, happy birthday, Ashley.
Definitely will. Thanks, Carolyn.
Yeah. All right, my friend. Thank you so much for calling in. I'll be looking forward to hearing an update on how you did with the tournament. And, again, my best wishes. I hope your lines continuously stay tight and that you catch what will get you to what it is that you want. I'm going to give Carolyn an opportunity to say goodbye to you, and then we're going to go to a break. So, once again, thank you. Appreciate it.
Alfredo, thanks for calling in on a Sunday. I'll keep an eye on you when you're out fishing with your tracker.
All right, thanks, Carolyn, and we'll see you soon, too. Got some fishing.
Oh, you got
time,
it.
Man.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Rascala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
GTG, BRB, OMW, be there in a few. You may think that these kinds of texts are fine because of their length, and you can easily send them at a stoplight. But no, answering one text can take your attention away from the road for 5 seconds. And traveling at 55 miles an hour, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Make good decisions. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Thinking of moving? Before you do anything else, call Diane Whittick. She provides a concierge service. Things like having your home or condo packed and shipped, Even take care of your home repairs or upgrades. Diane has the expertise to get it done. As a seller, you will have constant contact. She will furnish you with bids on any services that might need completion: air conditioning, plumbing, handyman, and even cleaning. Living up north and have a home to sell here in South Florida? Just give her the keys, address, and a signature. Your payment will be wired when the property is sold. That's right, Diane does it all. Thinking of buying? Diane has great listening skills. Tell her what you want, give her your budget, and like a genie, she will make your real estate wish come true. There's no regrets when you choose Diane Whittick. To reach Diane, call 561-247-5478. That's 561-247-5478.
Being a dad is an adventure full of special moments.
A cruise?
Surprise!
Unexpected moments.
I got this.
And even awkward moments.
Okay, Dad, thank you.
But every moment you spend with your kids, even the smallest moments, can make the biggest impact on your child's life. So take a moment to be a dad today.
While other stations just talk a good game, we win it.
Hey, sounds like somebody's having a lot of fun.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day. I just caught me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah, fishing and blowing on.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. Thank you. It is the final portion of the Fishing in Florida show this morning. If you've missed out on anything, I feel sad for you. Well, not really, because we will have an archive set up for you. So if you've missed anything, you can go back and catch up on it on the archives. The archives will be listed on Fishing in Florida Show. You can find us on Facebook, Fishing in Florida Show. You'll find a link to the archives there. Big thank you to WCET, our home network. A big thank you to High Point Radio. A big thank you to KYAH. A big thank you to YachtRockMiami.com. All of those are some of the affiliates that have been carrying the shows for us. Thank you so very much. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you to Carolyn. Carolyn with Atlas Tracks. If you want to protect what you love to the max, you got to talk to Carolyn at Atlas Tracks. Welcome back, Carolyn.
Absolutely, Riscala. Thank you.
And my next guest, I am so happy to welcome back, and that would be the one and only Angelia, the Florida Salty Cowgirl. I am so happy that you are doing well and feeling better, Angelia.
Thank you so much. Me too. That was terrible.
I was very, very concerned for Angelia this last week. It wasn't like her not to text me or call me back after repeatedly reaching out to her. And then the last message I hear from her is, I'm in the hospital with pneumonia. And that was the last I heard. I went, holy smokes. So she had a bad bout with a virus, but like Carolyn and like I consider us victors over these diseases. She victored over this disease, and she is now happy.
I'm much happier. Yes, that's no place to be in the Keys in the hospital. No good.
Yep. So
hello, Angelia. But did you have a good view from the window?
You know what, Carolyn? I was so sick I didn't even look out the window.
Poor thing.
We thought about you and said prayers the whole time.
Well, thank you so much because they worked.
I had talked to Carolyn a couple of times about it, and I was telling her, my gosh, I'm really getting concerned. This is not like her not to answer me or text me back or something. I was so happy to be able to hear your voice and the sound of your voice, and I could tell that you were feeling better. Just from speaking with you. I'm so ever so grateful for that. I looked at the radar this morning, and there was nothing happening all across the state, even down in the Keys. So what does it look like down there? Is it nice and clear?
Absolutely beautiful. And I did get, of course, I'm always talking to everybody, and the fishing's been great since I've been not on the water, and I'm going through a little bit of water withdrawals, so I'm planning on going out first thing in the morning. It happens. I have water withdrawals really bad.
I can feel for you.
Yeah. Yeah, just terrible. But the weather's been fantastic. All of the captains are talking about finally we've had no wind for, the last week or so. So everybody's on the water. Everybody's had a wonderful time. The sport fishing has been great. I know that the captains are still bringing in plenty of wahoo and plenty of blackfin.
Wow.
And then the head boats are really, really happy. They haven't been able to do much yellowtailing because there hasn't been much current out there. But the bottom fishing has been fantastic. Some of the biggest porgies I've ever seen have been coming up. Some of the biggest mangroves I've ever seen have been coming up. Some mutton snappers that are just beyond belief. And then something that was really kind of cool yesterday, I was finally getting out and getting some sun and feeling like myself again. And I live on Bayside. And I actually live north. I live in Key Largo on Bayside up by the Upper Keys Sailing Club. And there was very, very, very little wind, which, of course, makes all the fishing captains very happy. But they had their annual regatta from the Upper Keys Sailing Club yesterday.
Wow.
So it was quite beautiful to sit out there and watch 150 sailboats out there racing in heats. And it was just amazing.
Wow.
So to get some sun and enjoy the weather and watch the sailboat races yesterday. And like I said, they didn't have much wind to work with, though. They were having quite a problem tacking. But it was really, really, really nice to watch. And the fishing's been great. I'm going to get some lines in the water tomorrow, and I'm really excited about that.
You'll be able to relieve that anxiety of, I got to get out on the water. Got to get out on the water.
It's a real thing. People don't understand, but when you do spend several days a week on the water and you don't get to for a couple of weeks, I mean, you go through water withdrawals. It's painful.
Well, I will share with you, when I had my boat, I was a firm believer, if you're going to have a boat, don't let it sit in your driveway on a freaking trailer. That's ridiculous. So I use my boat whenever possible. And I would almost go into it if the weather was bad and I couldn't go out for a week or so, it would affect me. I don't want to go out. I wonder, so I can understand if you're out there all the time. My gosh, how much more it would be. I could never get enough of the water. Yeah.
It is absolutely true, honest withdrawals. It's painful.
Poor thing. Yeah, I know.
Well, even the fact that you're out on the salt water, and we know from talking with Travis on the Crossing for Cystic Fibrosis, if you had your lung issues that you did, the salt air is therapeutic for your lungs.
Yeah.
So there's another reason to get right back out there.
Yeah.
Everything's good for you. The sunshine, the vitamin D, the salt air is wonderful for your lungs and everything about it. And then, of course, if it makes you happy and it works for your soul, that can't be bad.
That's right. That's right. I go along with that one wholeheartedly. So, what do you think you're gonna go out tomorrow? What do you think you're gonna focus on? What are you going after?
Actually, I'm taking it easy. I'm not going to take my boat out tomorrow. I'm going to take it easy, and I'm going to go with some friends on one of the local head boats.
Oh, cool.
And and
you're probably going to put them all to shame too. Don't go fishing.
I call that no frills fishing. You get in the boat, you grab a rod, you drop a line in the water. It's like no work at all. They do practically everything for you, but bait or hook.
They do. Yeah.
But I was sort of I cut my teeth, so to speak, on bottom fishing, so I sort of have a passion for it. And I love to go out there on the reef, and I'm constantly going to your favorite place, out to Alligator Reef, and it's just been hot. It's been really hot.
Wow, I really miss that place. Well, there's just memories that were made there were just amazing for me. The water's just
so
gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah, the water's so clear there that in like 50 or 60 foot, you can almost
see the bottom.
fish biting your hook.
Yeah, you can see the bottom. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that used to irritate the snot out of me was the barracuda down there. I don't know if you've experienced this or not, but this happened to me on several occasions where we would be fishing somewhere in that area, and the water's very clear. Again, I mean, my gosh, you can literally see fish on the bottom of and you could be 30, 40 feet, and you could see this stuff going on. And we would catch fish, and we'd be doing good, and then all of a sudden, a fish would come up with just a head. And we knew that there was a barracuda around. And you could look everywhere and not see this barracuda. The little booger was under the boat, hiding under the boat, waiting for us to pull up a fish. Okay, so we figured out what was going on. All right, that's enough of this craziness. Let's move. And we would move, and we would I don't know, maybe 15 minutes of travel, stop and start fishing. We'd bring up 5 or 6 fish, and again, just ahead, this guy would follow us. And have you had that experience where they follow you? They get smart.
Absolutely. In fact, I've even a closer, more firsthand experience is if you've ever spent any time diving in that area or any of the areas down here in the Keys. You'll literally look over your right shoulder and you'll see a 3 or 4 foot barracuda just kind of hanging with you.
Yeah.
And then you'll swim for another 20, 30 minutes and you'll be scuba diving, 50, 60, 70 feet down there. And you'll look over your right shoulder a few minutes later and there he is, just right there over your shoulder.
That's spooky. That is spooky.
You swim a different direction, you look over your shoulder and there he is.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you a cute story. A couple weeks back, we were yellowtailing, and a gentleman had a yellowtail on the line, and they get very excited about it because this very desirable fish down here.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, and there's a barracuda. Literally, he's got this fish perpendicular right in its mouth, but the yellowtail's on the hook. It's on a jig hook, and the barracuda's just got the yellowtail in his mouth, and he's not letting go. And we're watching this barracuda swim around with the yellowtail in his mouth behind the boat, and it was just kind of hilarious.
Wow.
Who won the fight? Who won the fight in that case?
I was just going to say, Carolyn, we all know who won that fight. The human being's got a tiny little jig hook the size of my fingernail, and the barracuda's got the fish in its mouth. So we know who won that fight.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fun to watch, especially when the water's that clear down there like you have.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, and you guys probably know I really like going out to the local humps, and I like to vertical jig for blackfin tuna and big amberjack. And you guys would be absolutely amazed at how many fish heads I bring up. In fact, I have a video on my Facebook page of a probably 20 or 25 pound amberjack head, just the head. I mean, a huge
Holy smokes.
amberjack.
Wow.
And so the shark had to be gigantic. It was just amazing. It was so exciting. I had to film it, but
I got to see that.
Giant head.
I got to see that. Now, that's where on your Facebook page?
On my Facebook page, there's a video.
That's the Florida Salty Cowgirl, right?
Absolutely.
The Florida Salty Cowgirl Facebook page. I'm going to go there and I'm going to look for this video. I got to see this.
Yeah. And the gills are still breathing on me and closing on my hands. And
Holy smokes.
He's bit off right behind the gills, and this is a really big fish. I mean, this probably was a 50 or 60 pound amberjack before the shark got a hold of him. So think about how big the shark had to be to bite that fish off, And it happens all the time.
Wow.
There's not really much you can do about it. They're going to win every time. We call it the tax man. You're just paying taxes.
I like that. That's a good analogy.
That's exactly what we call it, the tax man. You just
tax
pay
collector.
your taxes. That's all.
There you go.
I'm definitely going to look for that video. How long ago did you post it, Angelia?
It's probably a while back, but if you go to my Facebook page and you go to the videos, it's pretty easy to find, and you can't miss it. I've actually reposted it, because it's just so impressive. This head is just massive, and it gave me a new perspective on how big the sharks are down there.
That would spook me.
Yeah.
Good gravy. That would spook me.
Because I bring up blackfin all the time that are bit off, but they're much smaller, football size or twice of the size of a football. But this amberjack is a big fish, so that whatever shark bit this thing up, I mean, wow, it had to be a big shark.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty
that's
exciting.
humbling. Yeah, just goes to show you you might be one of the smartest ones out there, but you're not the biggest.
Well,
oh my
the
gosh.
food chain, and we've got to respect that, so.
Yeah. I like the analogy, the tax collector, though. That I've never heard that before. That's good.
Really? That's a common thing down here. We call when the sharks start taking half your fish, we call that the tax man, and you're just paying your fish taxes, and there's nothing you can do about it.
That's
In
true.
fact, at tax season, I had posted some neat pictures of half fish bitten off with me with funky faces and blood everywhere.
Oh, my
and I was
goodness.
like, these are my feelings on tax season.
There you go. I feel about the same way, yeah. Goodness gracious. Wow. Wow. All right,
well, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to hear you laughing, especially since we were so worried about you last week.
Yeah,
That's
I was very
what
concerned.
I'm happy about finishing the show that way with you.
Yep. Yep.
Carolyn, thank
Me
you
too.
so very much, and thank you, Priscilla, too, for your concern, because, man, that is not any fun, and I am a bouncy kind of gal, and to lose my bounce was just heartbreaking, and my bounce is back, guys.
Yay!
Watch out.
Hot dog. All right. Well, we are
very
rapidly running out of time. So I want to say thank you, Angelia. I greatly appreciate it. And I'm going to give Carolyn an opportunity to say thank you. And blessings, my dear. I'm so glad that you're feeling better. Go ahead, Carolyn.
Angelia, have a great day out on the headboat, and send me a couple pictures of what you catch, because I want you to really just get back out there and feel good again.
You got it, girl, and thank you guys so very much. It's always my pleasure to be on the show.
Happy Sunday.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we were working there. There we go.
All aboard, Southbound.